Welcome to Something to Talk About from the Bainbridge Island Senior and Community Center. I'm Reed Price, and with me today are Ollie and Janice Pedersen. We're going to talk about a project that they got started about 6 months ago, paperclip resistance. We'll recap a little bit about the history of paperclips and resistance. I want to thank Fieldstone Communities, though, for being a sponsor of the Senior and Community Center by sponsoring these Something to Talk About podcasts. Fieldstone has independent living and assisted living and memory care. They're located up on Rolling Bay. They have day stay and respite care programs, and it's a beautiful campus. They'd love to give you a tour, and they'll treat you to lunch or dinner while you're there. Call Sierra Wood or Randy O'Neill to make an appointment. The phone number is 206-594-1010, 206-594-1010. And you can check out their website at fieldstonecommunities.com. Ollie and Janice, thank you very much for joining again. We're going to talk a little bit about the idea that that paperclips were, I guess, in World War II. That's the first. Maybe it was also in World War I, but World War II, is that right, Ollie?
Yes, that is
the
correct.
paperclip became a symbol of resistance by Norwegians against Nazi occupation, and it's a kind of a everyday event. It makes it, not a violent or aggressive act, just kind of a positive statement of connection. And about 6 months ago, the two of you, I guess you can recap, were building on your family's history, Ollie, and thought about spreading this word. Can you remind us a little bit about that?
Yeah, I'm going to let Janice start off, and then I'll pick up right behind Janice, if that's okay.
That's perfect.
Well, to start, we started out obviously as a small grassroots movement because of Ollie's history. You know, his father fought World War I, World War II, and the Korean War, but he was born in Norway. And my great grandmother was also from Norway, and I come from a long lineage of teachers. So when we read about the paperclip resistance movement in Norway during World War II as a symbol of resistance that they wore on their lapels, once I read that, I felt a need to start doing that in our country. And Ollie and I started doing that November 8th, right after the election. And then we launched the program kind of more openly in Paulsbo, known as Little Norway. And we got that small group going. And, you know, from that little nucleus, the message started to spread. And people really embraced it. They had fun with it. They liked the idea. It also traced back to the history. We have a Norwegian flag on our sign. So that really draws a lot of those Nordskis into asking us, why does your sign wear a paperclip? And so then we get to connect with people individually. But since then, and 6 months ago, we spoke with you, Reed. We have now kind of reached a national and international level of exposure, much due to the fact that E. Jean Carroll has been voicing on a lot of podcasts, and to Joyce Vance, she's been talking about the same thing. You know, the story is the same. We can all read about the history of the Norwegian resistance. And, you know, people kind of latch on to that. Hey, we need a symbol. And E. Jean Carroll has said that many, many times. We don't have a symbol that unites all of us. And so recently, Randy Weingarten, who is the president of the American Federation of Teachers, she has written a book, Why Fascists Fear Teachers. And because I'm a teacher, I've been reading her book, and she is brilliant at the research that she's done in asking the question, why are we here? Why are we in this moment? Why do we find ourselves experiencing never again now? And so for Ollie and I, it was just so important that this symbol can unify all of the groups. And now 50-51, they are telling people on a national level as well. They're saying, wear a paperclip. So I just feel that Margaret Mead wrote this wonderful quote some time ago that, never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world. And it indeed is the only thing that ever has. And so we kind of feel that impulse, we feel that energy, but we also feel like it's everybody else doing that individually. They contact us, they express all these creative ways that they're spreading the word about the paperclip. Everybody's having fun with it. They're making up little gift bags. They're putting paperclips on all sorts of things. And E. Jean Carroll, and she communicates with us directly now. And we were talking about wear them at the Oscars, wear them at the Academy Awards, let it be your best accessory now. So.
Well, and you have some lovely examples on today.
And I even have 2-cent paperclip earrings that I'm wearing. They're easy to make. But no, Ollie, yeah.
Well, Reed, we can supply you with some too.
Yes. Well, I do have the hat, and I have a paperclip right here.
There you go.
They're very easy to come by.
You're an excellent
and the idea that you're finding is that it's a relatively, low barrier to participating, to showing engagement in a positive movement toward unity.
Yes.
I know that there's a lot of talk. Tomorrow is the 18th. It's expected to be a big rally around the country and perhaps even around the world. And so there's attention around ways that people can participate. I know one of the things that I've heard from a lot of people is that they're looking to carry American flags as a expression of the fact that their actions are intended to be a statement of love about America, not hate. And I feel like in some ways the paperclip is an otherwise innocuous effort. And
Yeah.
you told me before we started that you have been hearing not only from people in this country, but around the world because of your outreach about this. Can you share some of that?
Yeah. When people write to us on our website and connect with us, a lot of times we'll hear from people, Scotland, we've heard from people from Norway. We have paperclip hats now in several countries. People write and ask, how do they get, connected with this, because they also want to spread. And one of the things that we really have grown in our understanding and in how we want to express our feelings about this is the importance of a symbol. And we added an entire page to our website just talking about the significance of a symbol. Why use a symbol? So Ollie.
Well, I think, to start with, Reed, we live with symbols. This is a country and a world that lives with a lot of different symbols. We sometimes we don't realize how many there are out there and how suggestive they are. Everything from sororities and fraternities having their symbols, and cars and companies. Everything has a symbol that communicates a certain message. I think what we are trying to do, all of these other symbols, they're communicating something just for their own particular brand. What we're trying to do, and I think what we've come to envision is that this is a symbol, this paperclip is a unifying symbol. Picture or imagine a hub on a wheel with, in the old days, having spokes that come to that hub. And our envision or our dream is that the paperclip, instead of just a standalone movement, is or can be seen as a unifying symbol, one that doesn't compete with anyone else, but instead unifies all these different expressions coming from all these different people and organizations, all these groups that are standing tall and um, wanting to preserve democracy.
Mhm.
You know, we're wanting to be a positive force in this whole effort of rallying everybody together. And so to that end, there was a quote I just wanted to read if I could.
Yeah.
A quote, a couple quotes. One from Llewellyn Vaughan Lee, it starts off, and I quote, "A symbol is not just an image, but it is like a door into the inner world of the soul." And then Janice and I went on to try to describe our feelings about symbols that are in our website. Symbols act as a universal shorthand that transcends language barriers, speeds our comprehension, and fosters a shared understanding. They provide a sense of connection and shared understanding within a community. They connect us to memories, traditions, and our heritage, strengthening our sense of identity and belonging. So just trying to give people an understanding of why we've decided to choose a symbol that could represent so much for everyone that chooses to wear this symbol. And
Yeah,
we
I
see
think,
it. Yeah,
oh, go
go
ahead.
ahead. Go ahead.
I was
Reed.
just going to say that, you know, when you were sharing the idea of the heritage and the participation over time and transcending language,
Yeah,
that's a lot of the beauty of this. And of course, symbols have been part of human culture for a very long time,
right.
and pre-literate, and
Exactly.
so we continue to resonate with those kinds of things. And I'm sure that's why this raising up of a paperclip, which does have the historical background that we've already talked about, um, and the instant sort of understanding of connection, uh, both both figuratively and literally, paperclips connect things,
Yeah.
um, is a reason why you've been able to see this engagement by a lot of people. Um, and you were saying that you're starting to see, you know, people as they're searching about this are, of course, finding your website. I thought I might just put it up on the screen here. This is the website that you guys have been building, thepaperclipresistance.com, and it's got pictures of you folks and other people, and as you said, history and graphics and information. And if people want to get a paperclip hat, you could purchase the merchandise there. But it's, as you said, mostly about not the raising of the money for anything except spreading the word further.
Right, for sure. Yep. And you know, it just makes us feel as though we love the idea of moving forward with a positive message. We've always talked about that. We've always talked about, but I also feel, both of us feel, our country is in a state of emergency. And so how do you prepare for that emergency? And or do you sit back and wait for the emergency to be over and let others take care of it for you? Or can you stand and have a voice and stand up to what is happening in our country that is so distasteful to the dignity of so many human beings and our healthcare system, our educational system. You know, as a teacher, the tearing away of the fabric of our educational system. I think in this state of emergency, we know it's happening. We are in, when we first did the podcast, we talked about it felt like something was coming. We didn't know what that something would be or to what extent or how horrific it could be. And now for us, it's going out in public. The messaging we get from other people is they see other people wearing a paperclip and they immediately are comforted by that. And if that's all you do, we can go out and protest and we can mark our calendars and have days of protest or rallies or go down. But what are we doing in our everyday lives? What are we doing to stand up to this tyranny? What are we doing to show our neighbors? What are we doing when we go down and have coffee or the grocery store or the post office? You know, people will ask us about our paperclip, and, you know, sometimes they don't want to engage, but that's mainly because maybe they think differently. But until we educate ourselves and participate more in democracy, I don't feel that we can just have these, you know, demonstrations every once in a while. I feel like the teachers are the last bastion of, you know, standing up for children and knowledge and education. And so if we all chose to wear a paperclip, to me, that's assembling all of us for the emergency that we're in. That's letting each other know we're ready, but we're ready every day. And older people can do it, younger people, you know, it's not a difficult thing to do. So that we think big, Reed, and we want to take our original paperclip, wear a paperclip sign, our original giant paperclip across the country. We feel like we have the passion and the drive, and we are not afraid. We can be the spokespeople because we're at that grassroots level. I think that's where the power is anyway.
So I want to ask you a little bit about your experience because I think both you and I have talked and I have experienced this sort of initial reticence or fear or just maybe not quite enough courage to feel like you can take that first step. And often you'll have somebody talk back, bully you a little bit, and so talk a little bit about how after you sort of got started, you found some allies, you found some people to help lift you up.
Well, it was very important, Reed. We started out, you know, in our barn, creating the big paperclip out of rebar and the little sign that Janice put together with the Norwegian flag, and we took that to Paulsbo, and we were we sat back a bit, but as we took part in that first rally or demonstration or whatever term you like, I love the word rally because it's a positive word. It's a word of unification, which I think we are at that moment. And I think this is an important point, and it kind of speaks to what you were just talking about, where I see a paperclip being worn as almost like a loudspeaker. You're wearing this innocent, almost clandestine symbol, but it is speaking to the world. People are noticing, people are questioning in their own minds, and sometimes they question you. Why are you wearing a paperclip? but so many of us are meek and mild. So many older people, particularly, they want to participate. They want to be a leader in some cause that can rally and unify us to preserve our democracy. And wearing a paperclip is being a leader. It's not just being a follower, it's being a leader. And so there are some of us that want to and joyfully want to wear a paperclip, and there are others that want to not only wear a paperclip, but they want to get out there and they want to move mountains with this idea, and both are very, very important. Don't let me diminish for one moment those people that are willing and joyful about wearing a paperclip. It is incredible, and we, to that end, we envision, and Janice and I like to try to think big. We envision, and hopefully this happens, but we envision on January 6th of next year, which is a very momentous date in our history. We have this idea of paper clipping the nation. Tomorrow is No King's Day. Maybe with the help of a lot of people, maybe something like Paperclip the Nation, a rally of that sort can happen. We're not sure. It's an idea in its infancy, and we're certainly hopeful that something like that could happen. But it's so important at this stage that we gather numbers now, great numbers of people that, and Dr. King was so successful at this, gathering huge numbers of people that non-violently just moved along streets and over bridges, and just that presence had an enormous impact on our society and on the world. And it's been shown, I think it's been shown, that numbers really can stymie ICE and all of those forces that are out there unnaturally trying to disrupt the rule of law. So I want to encourage everyone to wear a paperclip.
All right. There you go. And I see Ed and Jake are here, and they are, let me just spotlight them. They're showing off their paper clips as examples of folks who are willing to.
Oh,
Nice.
love it.
Yeah,
Love it and love you.
Oh,
I find that when I wear my hat with the paper clip on it, I'm often, people come up and ask what's going on with the paper clip, and I give them a little explanation of it. And I agree with you. It's just some way to feel like you're involved when so much of our feelings are that one of wondering what can we do, and this is just a nice way of easily breaking the ice and having a discussion and letting people know that that they're not alone, that there are many other people that have the same ideas about what's going on, and we need to unite and stand together so that we can make changes in the political situation that we're in. It has to change, and we just need more numbers and people organized to do this. And it will hopefully inspire some of our legislators to be more emphatic about taking steps to, change the situation that we're in here.
Yeah,
So-
things can change almost overnight. I mean, it is surprising how it's like, the Asian game of Go, where you have all these little tiles, and all of a sudden, because you move one tile, everything else suddenly shifts. And I
Yeah.
feel like things like the paperclip. Jake, I'm sorry, you had something to add?
You just asked the Mariners.
That's right.
Yes.
Just ask the Mariners. Well, and it's right. It's not over till it's over, and that's true for all of these things in life. And I feel like Ollie and Janice, you have been giving us a lot of encouragement and easy ways to take that first, second, or third step in standing up and saying with whom we are rallying.
Yeah.
Wonderful. And Reed, I just want to thank you as a spokesperson from our senior community, but also from the entire community and region, and all of the people that do things on a local level, because that when you talk about grassroots, that's what's important, that we take care of each other, we take care of ourselves, and that at the local level, we're connecting in such a wonderful, supportive way through all these movements, through everything that's being done.
Yes, that's the difference between grassroots and AstroTurf.
Yeah.
Oh,
Thank you
well,
both, and
thank you.
Thank you, Reed.
stay in touch. I know we will. And thank you for catching us up on all the good work that you're doing.
You've
Have a-
helped us greatly. Thank you so much,
Yeah.
Reed.
Yeah.
You're very welcome. Thank you.